Hey babes, welcome back to my channel. It's Becky. If you're new here, I am a mom of two little girls. I have a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old, Haley and Aubrey. I am also pregnant with baby number 3. This one is a boy. This is my first boy, but I also have a stepson. He is 7. We are a family of 5, soon to be 6, down in the Florida Keys, and I do a lot of mommy content. So if you haven't checked out my channel, make sure to do so and subscribe if you haven't already, because there's a ton of content coming your way. But for today's video, it's gonna be baby names that I love and I will not be using. I have some boy names, I have some girl names, and I have some unisex names that are good for both genders. For this baby, I am 19 weeks currently. Baby boy, we have 3 different names. We have one name that we absolutely love, and we have 2 other names that we're kind of like thinking about it. We're almost sure we're going with name number 1, but I will end up sharing them once we decide on a name and we're 100% sure we're sticking with that name. I'm gonna start off with the boy names. Since I am having a boy, we're in the spirit of boy over here, I'm starting off with the boy names. My first boy name that I absolutely adore, but I won't be using, is Oliver. I think it's such a cute name. It's traditional, it's still like super trendy nowadays, and I know that that's a name that's like timeless. No matter when you name your baby Oliver, it's going to be perfect because that name just never goes out of style and it's classy. I really like it. I love Mason. Mason is just such a strong name. I feel like it's a good name for a little kid and an adult, and I think it's just all across the board classy. It fits all walks of life, it fits everything. I really like that name. Boy name number 3, Brody. I love Brody. I think it's such a cute name, especially for us. We live down in an island. Brody is such like it's like a outdoorsy. It reminds me of a surfer boy. Maybe I watched The Hills way too much growing up, but I really love the name Brody. We won't be using it, but it was one on my list all 3 times of being pregnant. One of the names that I liked a lot, it's pretty unique. You don't hear a lot of names that start with the letter Z. This is Zane or Zayden. I really like it. I feel like it's a strong, manly name, and you really never hear it, ever. Another name that I fought really hard for this time around was Carter. I feel like it's a just a well put together name. Carter Mason. I feel like those 2 names work perfectly together, but Carter just wasn't gonna work for us in our family, unfortunately, but I still love that name. One name that we really both liked, my husband liked it a little bit more than me this time around, was Zachary. He really liked that the Y kind of like went with our girls, Haley and Aubrey, but it's just not a name that's gonna fit us. Zachary, I love it all around. You don't really hear it that much anymore, at least I don't. So that was a name on our list that we won't be using. Another timeless name is Emmett. I love Emmett. I feel like it goes well with almost any last name. I feel like you don't hear it much in schools anymore, and it's like I said, another timeless name. My last boy name that I have is Austin. I love that name since I was a little girl. I think my first crush his name was Austin, and that name just stuck with me. Mind you, I was very young, I was little, and I didn't even know what a crush was, but that name stuck with me, and I love that name, but it's just not gonna go with our family at this time. But that's it for the boy names. Now let's go to the girl names. Okay, so this current baby, if it would have been a girl, I already had her name picked out. I was obsessed with this name as soon as I found out I was pregnant with my last, which ended up being a miscarriage. I knew that this was gonna be the name for that baby. This name is Sage. I love this name. I feel like it's a humble name. It's down to earth, but you don't hear it so much. I love all of the vibes that I get from the name Sage. Girl name number 2 is a name that I hold so dear to my heart because it was almost my first daughter's name. It is Lorelei. I love Lorelei. It means mermaid in German. It is beautiful. I love it's classy. You never hear it. It's starting to gain some popularity now, but you really never hear it. There's multiple ways to spell it, and I feel like for our life, we live on an island. I feel like it would have been so perfect Lorelei Elizabeth. I could still picture it now. Like, if she wants to, I will change her name right now. But she loves her name, so we're gonna stick with Haley. Hopefully you can use that name. I absolutely adore it. And yes, that's just a girl name that I'll never get to use. Baby girl name number 3 was my favorite girl's name growing up when I was like 8 years old. And you know, you're a girl, so you plan out your wedding, you plan out your life, you plan out your kids' names. This was one of the names that I had for a girl when I would eventually grow up and have a baby. But obviously things don't turn out the way you plan when you're 8 years old. So my daughter's name was not Jade. I love that name. I feel like it's just very simple, short, to the point. Jade. It's beautiful, and I really like the meaning. If you haven't looked at the meaning, look it up. It's really nice. Baby girl name number 4 is Leilani. I love that you can use multiple nicknames, Lele or Lani. You sing when you say the name Leilani. I love it. I feel like you don't hear it so much these days. I feel like it might have been popular like 5 years ago, but now in 2021 it's not that popular anymore, in my opinion. And it's a beautiful name. Another name that I really liked when I was younger, growing up, I kind of grew out of it, and I kind of like it now again that I'm a parent. And I really think that this name is beautiful. It's just simple, it's classy, it's beautiful. I really like Ariana. You can say it in Spanish, Ariana. It's beautiful. I love the way your mouth just flows when you say it. It flows in sentences. It just flows. I feel like Ariana goes very well with any middle name that you put to it and any last name. And if you're looking for a girl's name that is bright, it reminds me of like flowers. A girl's name that I love is Teegan. I just love the sound of the name Teegan. I feel like Teegan is such a strong girl name that you really never hear, and it's just beautiful the way it rolls off the tongue. But I feel like the name is just beautiful, and you can have like a cute little nickname, Teeg or Teej. I love it. I love it all together. Another girl name that I will not be using, and this is a name that I brought to my husband when I was pregnant with baby girl number 2. We already had her name from the day we found out she was a girl, but this is one of the names that made me second guess her name. Her name is Aubrey, but the name that made me second guess is Everly. I love, it's such a girly, dainty flower. Like, it's so dainty. I love it. I feel like it'll never go out of style. I feel like if you put that on a baby, it'll go on a baby just as well as it'll go for an adult. And you don't hear, now it's gaining some popularity, but you generally don't hear the name Everly, and I really, really like it. My last girl name is Isla, spelled I-S-L-A, Isla. It's almost like if you're gonna say island. It's a very islandy name, very nautical. It's a beautiful name that you really do not hear. It's very, very rare, but I feel like there's just something about the name that is like a strong charactered girl. That's just the vibe that I get from it. So if you feel like you're having a strong charactered baby and you're into island kind of names, consider Isla. Okay, so let's roll into the unisex names. My first unisex name is Harley. I love the sound of the name Harley. It works well for both boys and girls, and I feel like it's a name that you really never hear. I personally know a Harley, but I've only met one, and I've never met any other after that, not even online. So I really like that name. I love the name Emerson. I love it for boys and for girls. I absolutely love it for a girl, Emerson. It brings like this radiance with the name Emerson. I could just picture a little girl with like brown curls named Emerson. I love it. But it's also good for a boy. I can completely go with like Emmett and Emerson as a twin name. I love those two names put together. Absolutely love it. My third unisex baby name is Rylee. I feel like it's such a unique name. You really never hear it. It's like a mix between Ryan and Lee. I just love the sound of the name. I love the way it's spelled. I love everything about that name, and you can use it for either a girl or a boy. Baby name number 4 for unisex is Sailor. This is another name that I've brought to my husband with each baby, and he never goes for it. He always shuts me down instantly. I'm like a little bit more daring than he is with names, with just anything in general. So I feel like he likes the more traditional names. He picked Haley's name, he really likes the name that we have for this baby. It's more traditional, and I just feel like it can go perfectly for a boy or a girl, especially if you live on an island or you're looking for nautical themed names. I love the name Sailor. Definitely look into it. My next name is Jude. I feel like we've all heard this name before. Hey Jude is like the most popular song ever from the Beatles, and I really feel like this name can go for either boys or girls. I've seen it on both boys and girls. Jude, I love it. Next unisex name is Taylor. Taylor or Tyler. I feel like those two names are beautiful boy and girl names. It's like a strong boy name, but it's also a very feminine girl's name, and I feel like they also go with any last name. It's a name that's already losing a lot of popularity, and it'll be really nice to name your child Taylor or Tyler, especially if you're Team Green and you're waiting till the end. That's a very nice name to have on your list. My next unisex baby name is Stevie. A lot of people won't agree with me, but I feel like it's a name that can be used for both boys and girls. Stevie is just such a cute girl name. You can pair it with such a cute, dainty middle name and it works perfectly. Or for a boy name, Stevie is perfect. I love that name for a unisex baby name. My last baby name is Hayes. I love Hayes for either boys and girls. I feel like it's a perfect unisex name that you really never hear. It rolls perfectly off of the tongue, and I feel like it also goes with any last name. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Let me know in the comments below if you liked any of these names, or if you didn't, tell me why. I would love to know. Let's help others out and put any names that we can think of in the comments below, so that any moms that are coming on here to find their baby's name, they can find it through here. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!